Hey everyone, it's Desiree, and I'm here again with Rubber Stamp Tapestry and another design team project. For today's project, I'm going to use their peg stamp set called Shell Border. So remember, with the peg stamps, they're just that. They are on pegs. Now this set comes with 6 different images. There are many shells that can be used, and what's great is with the detail that's on them, they can be used on their own as well. Remember, with all the peg stamps sets that you get from Rubber Stamp Tapestry, there's a registry, a line that helps you know how that stamp's going to look when it's stamped once you have that placed. I've dug into my Desiree K inks and I've chose Key Lime, Jelly Bean Green, Ocean Mist, Peach Bellini, Plum Punch, In the Navy, and Innocent Pink. Right off the bat, I'm going to start with the largest shell, and I'm doing that in the Navy. And that is a rule of thumb when it comes to peg stamps. Start with your largest image and then work your way down. So my next image, I'm using the Plum Punch. So what I'm doing here is I'm creating a border. I just want to go around this piece of cardstock. Now this cardstock is cut to 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and I will be trimming this down. Once I know my stamping's done, then I'll know what size it will be. The next color I'm coming in with is my Peach Bellini. So I'm not sure if this will be full. I kind of, when it comes to peg stamps, I just love going to town and just having fun stamping away. The next color I'm coming in with is Innocent Pink. And my last color that I'll stamp with is going to be the Ocean Mist. So you can see I'm taking care of all of the shells first. And then I'm going to fill in with the greenery. Now, the peg stamp set has 1 piece of greenery. Now, what's great is if you have other stamp sets, you could pull in another piece from another peg stamp set. I just like to stick with the one set, but they are extremely interchangeable, so you can have a great collection. So again, I'm using the Key Lime and the Jelly Bean Green, and I'm just going around and using the seaweed as a fill-in between the spots. I don't want it to be overrun. I only want a few pieces here and there, but I want the 2 different tones to come across as well. So I'm just going to town and having fun stamping. Remember, when you stamp with your peg stamps, you want to make sure that you're going up and down, straight down, or else you could get the halo from the rubber that's around it. Now, you can trim that away. I'd mess up the stamp. So, but you can, so that you can avoid the halo. So I'm looking at this and I don't think I want to add any more. I think I'm going to fill in with some other things. So I'm going to use one of my stitch rectangle dies and I'm going to cut that out. Now that's cut out, I'm going to add a framed, a mat to this. And I chose dark blue. Sometimes I like dark blue better than black. I'm not quite sure. It all depends. So I'm going to trim this panel to be 5 3/8 by 4 1/8. This will give me just enough border around the outside to make that wreath pop a little bit. I'm going to use some fun foam to prop up the panel onto my mat. Once I have my fun foam trimmed down, I will be using my double-sided film tape. Now I actually get this from a warehouse, an office warehouse. It'll be linked down below, but it is super strong. Once it makes contact, it's not coming apart. So the sentiment I chose is Summer Fun, and it comes from a set by Elizabeth Craft called Beach Sentiments. It also comes with these adorable glasses, so I had to stamp them too, because they were just cute. And I did use my In the Navy by Desiree K ink. So far that's our card. I'm going to mount that onto my standard A2 size card card base, which is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and instead of it being a top folding, it's going to be a side folding card. And to fill in this wreath, just remember, when you create these wreaths with your small stamped images, you don't just have to use the stamped image. You can use sequins, you can use beads, you can use gems, you can use Nouveau drops, you can use markers, you can use colored pencils. So you could actually use other items that you already have in your stash to fill in those areas if you didn't want to stamp, because either you didn't have something small enough or it wouldn't have looked right. You can actually create your own. So I chose to use my iridescent sequins just to fill in some of those areas and of course give it a little sparkle. So I do hope you enjoyed today's project for Rubber Stamp Tapestry using their shell border peg stamp set. All the products that I used will be linked down below in the video description. If you have any questions or comments, leave those down below as well, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. I want to thank you so much for stopping by, watching today's video, and if you haven't already, I'd love for you to subscribe. Make sure you ring that bell because you don't want to miss the next one. I hope everyone's having a great day. Make sure you take care, but always remember what's most important. Always be creative.